So let me create an EC2 instance. And what we will do today, we will install Ansible on EC2 instance, and we will create a simple Ansible script to provision a EC2 instance, for example. Okay. First of all, what is Ansible? Okay, how it works, right? For example, let's say, let me share my like paint. So, for example, I have a, remember we have installed Maven in on top of EC2 instance. How we did it? We logged into that server, and we have installed like a Java, and we have installed Maven, and we have updated the packages using update. Okay, we have one server, and we logged into that server and we did it manually. What if I have 100 servers, right? What if I have 100 servers? How I'm gonna do it? Okay, one server, you have one server, you logged in there, and you know update, install Java, then you did like simple steps. How you're gonna do with 100 servers? Okay, let me log into 100 servers one at a time, and let me do it again. What else if you had to terminate this 100 servers and deploy the new version into different 100 servers? Again, you are going to do the same thing, right? And that is pretty tough. Actually, it's not tough. Actually, it's pretty hard to repeat the things again and again, right? And it's very frustrated and very difficult. Actually, you are going to need a lot of resources to do that, and every time you're repeating the things, that's not good. Actually, you could make a mistake, a human could make a mistake actually, but a machine cannot sometimes, like. Okay, and that's why, excuse me, that's why most of the companies use simple automation scripts. We are going to use Ansible. So how it works is, Ansible will have a controller. Okay, and the controller is nothing but where you are running your script. For example, okay, if you are using your computer will be the controller. Okay, and Ansible will have a nodes. In this case, in this 100 server scenarios, and these 100 servers can be called as a nodes. Okay, what you need to do, you need to install Ansible only on the controller. You don't need to install Ansible on the nodes or workers, whatever you call. You don't need to install Ansible on the nodes or workers. Okay, so in the controller, you will write your playbook or whatever. You will write your automation, simple automation script, and you will run that automation script against these 100 servers. How you can define these 100 servers is a matter, right? So the Ansible runs against the host file. Host file. There is a file that you can create called host file. Even your computer will have that host file actually. Okay, and we can have all these 100 server IP addresses or whatever we are using in this host file, and in order to execute or in order to run any command, what you need to do, you need to connect to that server. In order to connect to that server, you need to have access, right? If you are logging into your GitHub on the console, you would have to provide your username and password. If you are logging to your GitHub through command line, you will add your public key. If you are trying to, you are saying Ansible to connect to these 100 servers and install Java on these 100 servers. All you need to do, provide the server's details inside the host file and provide that authentication details inside that host file or whatever, and run the playbook from the controller against that host file, and it is going to update the playbook, whatever the place that you want. For example, you want to install Java, it will go and update the Java, install Java. And you want to install Maven, and it will go and install Maven. How simple is that? It's very simple, right? And we will we will explore how it works actually in the real-time scenario, and we'll write a simple Ansible playbook to install Maven. We did install Maven yesterday manually, right? But we will write Ansible playbook to do that for us today. Okay. And any questions still now? Okay, let's go. And yeah, it seems like our instance is ready. Okay, let's connect. Let's get this SSH. Remember, I have this baseline key inside my downloads folder, right? That's where I have this key pair, right? And let's go to my terminal. Downloads, and let's go. Wow. Okay, that's funny. Let's copy this command again. Let's go here. Okay. Now I don't know what is Ansible, like how to install Ansible. Okay. So this is the command you need to see your OS version actually. Okay. For example, etc OS release. You see that what you will see, this is the operating system details actually. So what you will see the name of this operating system is Amazon Linux, and version 2. That is your operating system. Now I want to install Ansible on operating system. What operating system? Amazon Linux 2. And what I will do, okay, I know what needs to be done. I know what to do. Okay, I don't need to remember anything. Install Ansible on Amazon Linux straight away. Okay, how to install Ansible on Amazon Linux? Okay, let me open this. This is from AWS documentation, because they're the ones who implemented it. So they need to tell us how we can use it. And let's see, do they have any? Okay, they want us to install some Apple. That means like extras for the repo. Okay, let's go there, capture that, and let's type it. Okay, what the error that I can see? Can you guys see my screen? Font size, everything is okay? Can you guys see it now?
Yeah, Vishnu, you can see.
Yeah,
lack of permissions.
Okay, what should I use? Should I use super user sudo? Because if you are updating, or if you are installing, or if you are making any changes to your server, installing any security tool, or you are installing any package, you should be a root user in order to do that. Okay. And next, what they will say, okay, once you install this Amazon Linux extras, then you need to update that packages, whatever the packages. Okay, let me go and let me update the packages. Sudo yum update -y. Okay, yeah, everything is up to date. Now let's go here. Simple, install Ansible. We are not doing any Nginx thing. We are just trying to install Ansible. Then we will write a custom script. Okay, we will write a custom script to install Maven, Java in Maven. Okay. Okay. Actually, so we are gonna create an EC2 instance using Ansible today. I can give you an assignment to install Maven using Ansible. Okay, but we will create another EC2 instance, but this time we will be using Ansible. Okay, so in order to create an instance, what I need to do, like I should have a so let's say I want to create an instance. For example, I want to create an EC2 instance. What are the details that I need to have? Can someone help me? What are the details that I need to have? I need to have AWS credentials for sure.
Yeah.
And I need to know the, security group, or I need to know the whatever other details. I need to know the security group, and I need to know the subnet, or I need to know the region, and I need to know the instance type. I need to know all those details, right? In
Yes.
order to provision the server, in order to provision the server, what I will do, Ansible script to provision an EC2 instance. I need to know the image ID as well, right? Not image, yeah, I need to know the AMI ID, right? So this is the, you see that latest version. This is a version 5. The first thing first. This is a version 5. This is still in development phase. Not most of the companies, they are not there yet. So this is the 2.9 is the standard version. Okay, that is the version most of the companies using right now. So I want you to guys explore whatever the details that you guys do using this version 2.9. Make sure 2.9 is the version that you guys working on. Okay, and let's see. First we will run simple script, and then I can explain this table, what this table does, why you need this table, and everything. It's very straightforward, very simple. Okay, so these are the details. These are the EC2. You see that EC2, this is the module. Basically, this is the module which is implemented by Ansible. Okay, you don't need to remember anything, and you don't need to know why that EC2 will create an instance, because behind it is a predefined software which is implemented by Ansible, and we are using their software to automate our infrastructure. That is the purpose. Okay, and what we need to know the key name, and we need to know the instance type, AMID, and how many servers that you want to provide, or any group that you want to attach your server, and a subnet, you want to attach a public IP, or if you want to add any instance tags, you could do that. All those things. Okay. All those things that you need to know. I'm going to copy the script. Okay, did I install Ansible already? Which Ansible? Let's see. Okay, Ansible has been installed. Ansible ---- version 2.9. 2.9 is the standard version. Okay, now I will write a simple automation script. Okay, so Ansible scripts ends with a .yml file, not YAML. .yml file. Those are all .yml file. Okay, the first things first. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a simple EC2.yml file. This YML says this is Ansible. This .yml says this is Ansible. Okay, and on the first three, in the first line, no matter what, in the first line, all YML files should have a 3 icons on the top. You see that the color has been changed. If I had a third one, the color has been changed. The first line, you should have all those 3 icons on the top. 1, 2, 3. Next, enter. Okay. Now, 1 icon and a space. And so the playbook runs on host. Remember, I was telling you to run this playbook against 100 servers, right? But I don't have that host file for now. I don't have that host file. So by default, if I don't have any host file, when I run the playbook on the local host on the controller, by default the host will be the local host. Okay. Next, tasks. The next section will be tasks. Okay. In the tasks, I can give, you see that? So the first section is the host. If you have any variables, you can define variables here, something like this. But right now, I just want to show the normal way how the playbook architecture is. The second section is tasks. You are not supposed to use tab in this Ansible. The YAML throws an error if you use tab. You're not supposed to use tab, okay? You should use only space, okay? So I can define tasks like this, something, this name, just for identification purpose. Create an EC2 instance. Now I need to define the module here. What is the module? EC2 is a module. Now all the parameters inside those should be inside a module, like a key name, whatever, all those details, key name, image ID, subnet, all those details should be inside that module. Okay. Now let me make sure I am in the right structure. This is called indentation. Okay. This indentation should be right. All you need to know just indentation. That's it. What I will do after after you define the module, I'll take 2 spaces and that's it. Everything 2 spaces after define the module. Okay, 2 spaces and 2 spaces and 2 spaces. Okay, and 2 spaces and 2 spaces, again 2 spaces. You see that if I go something like this is good, everything online. Okay, and yeah, this is good, this name. And if I have something like like this, it is going to throw an error. You see that the color has been changed. This is just indentation. All you need to know the indentation. Okay, and this is the playbook with one task. If I want to add another task, right? For example, if I want to add another task, I can give an extra space. You don't have to. You could write a task here as well without space as well. But the second task should start exact the way the first task has been started. You see that? So this is my first task. This one my first task. So let me define the second task exactly the same way. Okay. Name and okay. What just print my name. Okay. I'm going to write just a simple shell command. So I'm using shell module echo. This is Vishnu. All shell commands, you should use shell module, and you will get all those module inside the documentation. You don't need to remember any of this. I did not remember all these details. I got this whole code from the documentation. Okay, and you see that I don't see this is pretty much good. Like this looks very nice. That's why what I would do, I would give one space. Okay, if I want to add extra task, it should start exact here. Okay, so all I have to do just to go here, need to make sure the indentation is right. Okay, yeah, right. I can add extra tasks, something like that. So each task can be called play, and this whole script will be called a playbook. In Ansible, the automation script will be called a playbook, and each task inside a playbook will be play. This is Ansible. Okay, let's run the script first and let's see what happens. I need to change my key name, right? What is my key name? Baseline key. T2.micro is fine. I need to provide my AMI. Okay, let me go here, grab, grab whatever AMI. How I can get AMI? Just go here, and this is the AMI ID. Let me copy this AMI ID, because this is the AMI that we choose, right, to provision a server. Copy that AMI ID and provide that AMI ID here. Okay, you want to wait? Yes, wait for some time. Okay, so are you adding the server to any specific group? If you do have a web group, web server group, or if you do have a database server group, what does that mean by web server group, database server group, all those details? Let's go to EC2 dashboard and let me tell you what is that web server auto server group means. Okay. So when we provision the instances for a specific reason, right, like this is a web server or this is a database server, how they define, how they add all those details is inside the target group. Actually, you see that, so there is a load balancer and a target group. They will create a target groups actually, and they will add the instances. Let's say if they have a web server target group, they will add the instance to that web server target group. If they want to create a server for database server target group, they will add that. If they have a different target group, they will add that. Okay, that's the target group. Actually, that's the group that guy was talking about. So we don't have any group, and what I will do, I'll just remove that group actually, because we are not adding that instance to any group, right? And the count, how many instances that you want to provision, I would say just one instance is fine. And I want to provide that subnet ID, and let me go and grab the subnet ID from the instance that I have. Okay, and let's go to our instances. Okay, and where is the subnet ID? Can someone help me with the subnet ID?
It's up
To the top, yeah, Vishnu.
Okay, let me provide the subnet ID. And are we good? Okay, let me save it and let me try to run this playbook. So in order to execute any playbook, the command is Ansible dash, that is -, playbook, and a playbook name. You see that this is the first play. Okay, and it did not go for the second play because the first play has been failed. That is why it did not go through that, the second play. So what happened? Why this failed actually? What is the message? Boto required for this module. Okay, let's go install Boto. Okay, sudo yum install python pip. Okay, that's fine. Sudo pip install Boto. Okay, yeah, that is fine. So why we need to install Python, and why we need to install this Boto? Like why the how that is related to this Ansible? Because remember when I said they have this predefined software called EC2. They have used Python in order to implement this predefined software. When you are using EC2 within Ansible, that means they have the Python script. Okay, if anybody using this EC2 module, you should do all these operations. And for all AWS operations, for Python people, they should have a Boto is the module. So that's all you need to know. There is nothing much about that. Okay, and we're not writing any Python script, but we need to know, we need to install Python in order to execute any Ansible playbook. But from Ansible 3, 4 onwards, they're not using Python anymore. But just letting you know. But for 2.9, the 99% of companies they're using still 2.9. So for 2.9, you should know the Python should be installed on the controller. Okay, and that's the Python error. So you should install Python in order to run the playbook. Now let's go. What is the command that I need to run? Ansible -playbook EC2. Now let's see. What is the error that I got? Either region or EC2 URL must be specified. That is the error that I got. So where is this error coming from? This error is coming from create EC2 instance task. Let's go to the task. Okay, vim EC2, and let's provide, it should be inside EC2 somewhere, right? And let's go here, enter. This should be exactly, yes, that's the way. Let's provide region. Yes, east, 1 or 2. What is the region that I'm working on? Ohio. This should be, this is the region, right? You are not supposed to provide Ohio. You should be providing the exact ID. Yes, is to 2. That is the ID of the region. Okay, yes, is to 2. Okay. Now let's run the playbook again. What is that? Again, what is this? Can someone tell me what exactly going on with this playbook? Forget about the playbook. Forget about whether it's Ansible or whatever it is. Can someone help me with this error actually? What this error is saying?
We didn't the credentials for the access the secret keys.
Exactly. That's what it is. So what is happening is you are trying to provision a server inside the AWS, right? But you don't have any permissions to do that. Hey Vishnu, we are already on the instance side. We are already on the EC2 server, and that means you are already inside a AWS. So why do you need the credentials? It doesn't work that way. Actually, you are not. So when you are inside this server, when you are doing your operations inside the server, this is, for example, this is your EC2, and this is your AWS. Okay, so this instance, when you are trying to execute any of the automation scripts, or if you are trying to provision, this is my computer right now. Okay, my computer inside AWS, but this is my computer where I am working right now. If I want to provision another server, or if I want to run any Python script, or if I want to run, adding tags or whatever, anything, if I want to run from here, what this server has to do, it should go through authenticate through API. API is nothing but application platform interface. What is that application platform interface? AWS application platform interface. And then only it can able to create an EC2 instance. Those two are separate independent events. You create another EC2 instance, it doesn't belongs to this instance, right? It's completely different. This can be another computer, but you should be authenticating your API, AWS API, in order to make changes. Okay, and how I can authenticate this API? That's where the access key secret key comes in. That's where we use access key secret key. Okay, remember we had an access key secret key, right? That's the access key secret key. Now I need to get the access key secret key, and I'm trying to use that user to create an instance. So I need access key secret key with EC2 full permissions. How simple is that? Let's go to IAM. Okay, IAM. You guys can stop me if you get any simple doubt or any single doubt. You guys can stop me at any time. Okay, create a user with the EC2 full permissions. Have these many users, but do I have yeah, I'll just add user. Ansible EC2 user. Yeah, we need programmatic access. We don't need password access actually. I'm going to use access key and secret key only. Okay, this guy already have a EC2 full permissions. I'm not going to create a new group because I already have a group that has a EC2 full access, or I can give this group EC2 group and just go next. I don't need to add any tags. Okay, I'll just create a user and I'll be downloading the CSV file. I don't want to add my credentials inside a script because I'm going to push this script to the public GitHub repository or whatever the source code repository, and I don't want to show my keys in the I don't want to put my keys in the repository. What I will do, I will do AWS configure. So I will configure those credentials to the server. So this will this will asking us to provide what we need to provide, the access ID. Let's go here and grab that access ID. This is the access ID. Okay. Next, grab the secret ID. Okay, right here. No, I think this is not the one actually. Yeah. This is the secret ID. Do not copy commas, okay? You need to make sure you will be copying the right value. This is a secret key, okay? You could even configure your region as well, okay? Default region ES, East 2, and the default output, I don't care, whatever the output should be fine. Now let me go and run the playbook again. Is it working? The first play is happening right now. The first play is, you don't need to provide the name, but the reason I did provide the name, if you see here, they didn't provide any name here, right? Let me go to that Ansible documentation. They didn't provide any name. The reason I did provide the name, if you don't provide any name, you're not gonna see the output like that. Output of the server, you see that? You're not gonna see output like that. So that's why I did provide the name. Okay, I did provide the name so that you will see exactly where the playbook is failing, what is happening in inside each task. So this each task will be called play, and the whole group of tasks will be inside a playbook. That is the Ansible playbook. Okay, and I can even add the logs to, if I run the playbook, it is going to create one more instance, right? But I don't want to create one more instance. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just comment that create instance one. Okay. There is a way that you can comment multiple lines at a time. Let me tell you. Control V and select all the lines that you want to comment, and Shift I and Shift 3 and escape. That will comment all your lines at a time. Okay. And I want to comment the lines code because I don't want to create instance again. And let me run the playbook in the verbose mode. When I say verbose mode, I can see the output here as well. That -VVV, that is the verbose mode. And let's run the playbook. You see that? This is how you will see. This is exactly how you will see. What is the command? You see that echo, this is Vishnu. This is the output of that command. This is Vishnu. You see that? So that's how Ansible playbooks works. Basically, if I tell you to run the install Java, install Maven, all those details, right? How simple, very simple. I can write like simple, like a simple pseudo code. Pseudo means rough code. First 3 lines, first line, what is 3 icons? Okay. The second, where I'm running this playbook, localhost. I don't have any host specified, so I'm running localhost. Okay. Tasks. Okay. The first task, name. Okay. Install Java. For example, what is the command that I'm using? Shell command. Sudo yum install Java dash 1.8. Okay, whatever, and star. But it will prompt for iPhone, it will prompt for escalation, right? But you are running the multiple tasks at a time. And how it is going to stop? You're going to stop and select Y. That is why you're choosing iPhone Y. Okay. Next task. Okay. Name, shell, no, install Maven, or whatever prerequisites. If there is prerequisites, same sudo yum install, whatever the steps that you want to follow, you could add the place something like that. Okay, that is the assignment. I want you to guys install Maven. Even if possible, I want you to guys write a script to install Jenkins. Actually, create an EC2 instance, and after you create an EC2 instance, log into that, create an Ansible playbook on top of that instance, and you can install Jenkins on that EC2 instance. You could do anything. Whenever, if anybody asks you like what you are doing with Ansible, what you using for Ansible, hey, we install security tools, we install, prerequisites, we install Jenkins, and we do, user management and all those things using Ansible. That's what you guys should say. Okay. And let me go back to that box actually. So what is this? So these are the parameters that are belongs to this module. You see the two spaces, and all of them inside that two spaces inside that module. If I see that instance tags, right? Remember we update the tags, right? This instance tags belongs to the tags inside EC2. Inside tags, they are the tags actually. You could add extra tag. If you want to add extra tag, it should be straight under DB. Okay. That's what it should be. Okay, let's go back to this box. If you understood this box and done, you're good. This box is all about Ansible actually. If you do understand this box, you don't need anything actually. So what this box is saying is basically the parameters for this EC2 module. These are all parameters, okay? And public key, yes or no. Choices, yes or no. By default, yes. That's what we see. That's what we see. Public key, public IP, sorry. Yes or no. By default, it says. We did not provide all these parameters, did we? No, right? There are only a couple of parameters mandatory, for example, region, all those details, and we are providing them. If if they want you to implement something, and all you need to do, grab here, okay, that parameter is supported with a EC2 module, okay, yeah, that is supported, okay, let's include that module, let's include that parameter here. Okay, for example, my manager told me to, like, is there any way that we can filter this, filter that, and there is nothing, there is no parameter that you can see supported by that EC2 module, and you cannot use it. Only the parameters inside this box only will be supported for that module. Okay, you see that key name, and I need to use this parameter to provide the key pair. You see that key pair name to use all those things. Instance profile name, name of the IAM user profile. If I want to provide this instance profile name, I need to use the who is launching this instance, basically. That's what it means. And instance IDs, list of instance IDs currently start, because this EC2 module is not only to create an instance. You can terminate an instance, you can stop, you can start. Let's say I want to terminate multiple instances, right? All I need to do, I need to use the same EC2 module to stop the instances, right? To terminate the instances. All I need to do, just provide the comma separated instance IDs or list of instance IDs, and that's it. That's all I can say. You see that? Let's say I'm stopping the instance, right? And did I provide that instance ID? Stop instance example. Did I provide the instance ID? No instance ID. AMI will stop, yes. Spot price. Oh, requesting spot instance. That is not a stop instance. Let's go to stop instance, for example. Terminate instances. You see that? All I need to do, just state equal to absent. Let's confirm that state is in the parameter or not. Okay, let's go here.
You need to
Down
scroll down little bit down, Vishnu.
Oh, you saw that already?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, you guys understood how it works actually? Yeah, when you write sample code, right? When you write like a pseudo sample code, and you guys will definitely understand. And this is this is how Ansible works. You need to know 3 things. Python should be installed on the controller, okay? And Ansible works with a worker and a master kind of thing, like controller and a node. Sorry, controller and nodes. What is controller? Where you are running the playbook. It could be your computer. If you are running the playbook from EC2, that EC2 will be the controller, okay? And the nodes, wherever you are executing, like whatever you are saying, that something like that, that's a node, okay? And the next thing, playbook architecture, like a host, tasks, how you define the tasks, and how you define the place inside task, like just provide the module, provide the parameters, and that's it. Give it a name. That's it. And the main thing is indentation. How you using spaces. And let's say if I have something like this, right? For example, if I have something like this, the playbook is going to fail because the indentation is wrong. Let's run this and we'll see what happens. Ansible -playbook and easy to. You see that what we were unable to read either JSON or YAML. These are errors we got from each JSON, no object decoded. That means you see that we're expecting, so it is throwing a syntax error. It is even giving you the line 16, column 5. That's where you are getting the issue. Okay, let's go to line 16. How we can go to line 16, column, enter 16. That is the line 16. Okay, and let's go here. Okay, this is a syntax problem, Vishnu. You made a mistake. Seriously, Vishnu? Now let's go and run the playbook and we'll see what happens. Okay, it worked. This changed means it worked. Okay, that's what it. This red means error. Okay, this color, this changed color means it worked. Okay, and that's how the color coding basically. You don't need to know the color coding, but you see that even it will even tell you how many okay, and this one is okay. That means this is okay, and the changed is also okay. Okay is 2, okay, changed 1, unreachable 0, failed 0 tasks, skipped 0, and reused 0, and ignored 0. Okay, and that's what it means, that output means. Any questions? Any doubts? No questions, no doubts?
Hi Vishnu, how can we run multiple YAML files?
No, actually, we cannot run multiple YAML files actually.
Okay.
So all you need to, you can include all your tasks, multiple tasks inside a playbook. In
Okay.
order to run multiple YAML files, you would have to create a role, but we are not there yet. And I'll have one more session like how Ansible role works actually.
So whatever the task we need to do, we need to put everything in one playbook and we need to run that, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. Let's say, for example, I wanna, yeah, for now, yeah, that's it for now. Okay, and I can explain you. There is a session regarding user data module. Basically, I want you to guys use user data module and let me see what is that user data module do, and run user data script using Ansible. So what happens is you would have to provide a variable called a user data. Okay, and you will need to provide the user data, basically what data that you want to run and things like that. For example, you see that. So this is the user data variable inside. This is your user data parameter, okay, which is inside this EC2. And where you are getting that user data, hey, look for this file. Simple. All I need to do, create a file name called userdata.sh or anything. It shouldn't be userdata.sh. Okay, it can be anything. Let me run this playbook, and I will install Git. Okay, and I will install Git, and I can create a user, and let's see how does that work. Okay, all I need to do, just add this to my script, right? Let's go back to our script. mec2.yaml. Now, oh boy, I want to uncomment all this code. Okay, how I'm gonna do that? Control V. Okay, and X. Wow, it worked. Yeah, that's nice. But I wanna Control V. X. No. Yeah, I'll just use something like this. The indentation, I'm just trying to work with the indentation. You see that? So all my values, we should go under here. Okay, now I will add somewhere, anywhere. Inside EC2, I can add anywhere. Okay, user data, and I can create this, I can rename it run data search, for example. And this run data search should be at the same location as that EC2.yaml. Okay, and that is very, very important. Okay, will run data search sh, and inside run data search, it's a sh means that's a shell script, right? Shift colon bin, correct? Sudo yum install git -y. Sudo yum sudo add user. What could be the username? Ansible, for example. Okay, and let's see what happens. So we should have the EC2 instance, and we should have that EC2 instance with a, with a Git installed already, and we should have that EC2 instance with a Ansible user already. So what I will do, I will make sure that, let me go to my AWS management console. Let me go to that EC2. I would want to terminate that instance that I've created earlier, so that I won't have any conflicts actually. Wow, this is, so which one is Ansible right now? Wow, I don't know. If I terminate that Ansible that I'm working on right now, I'm gonna lose my connection. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now what I will do, I can just run the playbook. I would want to see the instance IP or whatever. Let's run the playbook. Okay. This is creating an instance, and this should run user data as well. What we have in that user data? Install git and create a user, for example. You can have that user data to the whole script, like a install Jenkins or install whatever, tagged instances. There is no tagged instances. Okay, I want to see that instance ID actually, so that yeah, this is the instance ID, right? Let me grab this instance ID. Okay, let's go here, grab it. Okay, this is good. Connect to this instance. let me go to my, no, is that Command T or Shift T? No, it's Command T, I guess. Command T will open new tab and I'm in downloads. Let's go here, connect to this. Wow, what's going on? Am I not in downloads? Yeah, it's still creating, I guess. The instance is not ready yet, I guess. That could be the reason, I guess. Yeah, it's still initializing. You see that? So that is the reason. But we can refresh this. Ramya, are you there? Ramya,
Yes, Vishnu.
are you getting what I'm doing?
I'm trying to, Vishnu. I'm getting a little bit confused, but I'll try
Oh,
to.
yeah. Once you have done, once you write a simple script, right, and you
Mhm.
will understand everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit confusing is everywhere. Yeah, now I will just kill this process. Control C to kill the process in Linux. Okay, and now it should work immediately. Wow, this is crazy. Why it is taking so much time? Huh. Is this the same key that I have baseline key.pem? Baseline key.pem. Let me double check. It shouldn't take that time actually. Cat baseline key.pem. Is this the same as this one actually? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Vishnu.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and connect one more time. But why it is taking so much time though? Because the user data is not ready yet, I guess. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll give another minute. This is what most of the companies do. Let's say they are provisioning a server and they know the users for that server. For example, the DevOps engineers are the users for that server. What they will do, they will create a user group. They will create users on the simple, that a user data script, and they will create a server using that automation script, something like that. In this case, we are using Ansible. Most of the companies, they use Ansible to do, this kind of automation. It shouldn't take this much time though.
Vishnu, this happened to me as well. I mean, is this because of AWS server might down?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that could be the reason, maybe. But that's we run the prerequisites or pre-existing data. That's how we execute. Okay. Any doubts regarding this? Try it from your end and let me know. Okay. I can give you guys an opportunity, but that's how you run the script actually. I would want to terminate all this. Any questions, any doubts before I terminate all these servers actually?
విష్ణు ఒకసారి ఆ ప్రాసెస్ అంతా మళ్ళీ ఒక్కసారి చెప్తారా జస్ట్ ఓవరాల్
So Ansible is nothing but Ansible runs on host based, not host actually. So in Ansible architecture, we will have a controller and we will have a nodes. Okay. And the controller is nothing but where we are running the playbook. And the nodes is nothing but where you are executing the playbook. For example, where the playbook is going to run. You don't need to install Ansible on the nodes. That's what you need to know. And for 2.9, any version that is less than 3, you should have a Python installed in order to run the Ansible playbooks. Okay, the playbook architecture looks like this. The playbook architecture looks like this. Too much net వస్తుందో అసలు, I'm so sorry. So the playbook architecture looks like this. The Ansible script, the Ansible files, the extension will be .yml, not YAML, .yml. Okay, and the first line contains 3 hyphens. Right next to that first line, we should provide that host where this playbook is running. By default, it is a local host. If you don't have any, for example, you create a target group and you have all your hosts inside the target group, for example, web servers. You can provide something like that. But you should add all these web servers to your host file like that. I don't have anything. I'm running simply against the local host. Okay. And then you will have a tasks. These tasks are actually plays actually. Each task will be called a play. You don't need to know that, but this whole group of plays will be called a playbook. That means a group of tasks inside a playbook. Group of tasks will be defined inside a playbook. Okay, and the indentation should be, you know, exact. Let's say, for example, if I have something like this, the playbook is going to fail, because when you are saying that you are going to provide tasks from here, you should be providing the tasks the same format that the playbook is going to expect. You can have something like this. That's okay, that's fine. You can have something like this. It shouldn't have to be exact, you know, indentation the way they use, but this should be fine. It is going to work. Okay, but if you start your task here and the next task, if you're starting here, it's going to fail. If you're defining something, it should be the same way that you are doing for other tasks as well. Okay, and this is the simple architecture of an Ansible playbook. Ansible is a configuration management tool. When I said the configuration management, nothing but you are making changes to your infrastructure. You're making like a configuration changes. Configuration changes means like, you know, you are, let's say if I want to update the tags, for example, I have a 10-15 servers that I want to update the tags. You are making that change using this playbook, just one click, something like that. Okay, and there is no mediator. You can straightly running this playbook from your controller. Like there is no need to a third party person need to authenticate. Hey, okay, whatever you're doing is good. Okay, I'll let you do it. No, it's not like that. Whenever you say something inside your playbook from your controller, you provide your credentials to your playbook, the playbook is going to run whatever your intentions are. Very powerful and a very simple and a human readable. Okay. Any questions?
Vishnu, can you point the controller here in the sense the first EC2 instance you created, right?
Yes, that's the controller.
So whatever the next EC2 instance which you created through the script is the node?
No, I'm not using any nodes here. I'm using this Ansible to infrastructure automation, for example. But I have two EC2 instances, right? For example, let's say I have Ansible installed in this. This is the EC2 instance that I'm working now. Okay, for example, I have Ansible installed, and this is the EC2 instance. I have installed Ansible, and I have my playbook on this instance. And let's say I want to install Java on these two servers, right? For example, I want to install Java, or I want to install any other thing. All I need to do, add these two servers to the host file, and I need to run the playbook against this host file. I don't need to install Ansible, or I don't need to install anything. I have installed Ansible on only the controller, and I am running my playbook to the only controller. But I am going to install Java on these two servers. So these two servers are going to be nodes for this, especially this architecture that I'm talking about. Okay, but the playbook that I write for infrastructure automation, it's not like a controller architecture. That is for infrastructure automation, and that was just an example. Does that make sense, Ramya?
Yeah, Vishnu.
Sure.
I'm getting a little bit confused, but I'll go watch the video one more time and I'll just catch
Yeah,
up.
so you could use the multiple ways actually. So you can use for configuration changes. That means I have these two servers, right? And I don't have installed Java on these two servers. And you are making the change, the configuration of the servers change. You are installing configuration. You are installing Java. That is the configuration change that you are doing with Ansible. And you could do infrastructure automation as well. That means I have created this infrastructure. That means I have created this server. That is the different purpose that you are using Ansible. You could use either infrastructure automation or configuration changes. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. Any doubts? Anybody have the same doubt actually?
విష్ణు మీరు చేసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి మా ఐడి ఇచ్చి చేసుకోవచ్చా? ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఐడి అట్లా ఏమన్నా వర్క్ అవుతుంది? ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఐడీస్.
No, so that program was creating a server. So you are creating an instance and you don't know the ID, right? I'm not providing any ID here.
ID, okay.
Because I don't know the ID. But so what your assignment is, okay, let me stop recording. Any doubts from anybody? No doubts? Okay.